Hi there, and welcome to this episode of Write With Me at IELTS Juice. We have an essay to plan and prepare ourselves for. The rubric is here. It says, living in a country where you have to speak a foreign language can cause serious social problems as well as practical problems. Let's break it down because the sentence carries some hidden elements. Hidden element number one, it doesn't say that you are living in an English-speaking country. So you can write this for a French-speaking country or a country that speaks Espanol or Portuguese. So your decision. There is no limitation here. Imagine you're immigrating to, let's just say, a South American country. In that case, you have to learn to speak Portuguese or Spanish. So that is one scenario. It doesn't have to be an English-speaking country, but even if you want to say another country, fine. But if you want to make an example of an English-speaking country, again, you can. Second item, you have to speak a foreign language. Look at the grammar here. It doesn't say you should, it's better, you have a higher chance. No, you have to. You are forced to use another language. You cannot communicate with people any other way, and you have to use the language of your host country. I want you to make sure you know this is forced upon you. So you shouldn't use languages like yes, it's better, you get by, you will be fine. No. These are loose words or grammar structures. We want something to show some things actually that they show you have no choice but to follow the language of the host country. The third item here says cause various social problems as well as practical problems. Social problems, practical problems. Yeah, this is the secret. There are two avenues, there are two topics here that IELTS tells you to follow. One, social problems. What social problems can happen? You cannot find friends. You cannot communicate with the people in that country. So you cannot find friends. You cannot go out to clubs and pubs and spend time, have fun. You don't know where the latest event is going to be, the next concert. Even if you go to a concert, you don't understand the word they're saying. So these are some social problems. Other than that, you may not get the news properly. You may, that's an example. You may show up at work and you realize that it's closed. Then you check around and you realize at that moment that that day was a social holiday, was a national holiday for that society or for that location, for those people. So you have to come back. These things are social problems. And there are some practical problems. Can you communicate with your bank? Can you pay your rent and interact with your landlord or landlady? How about when you go shopping? Can you pay for the items you buy? How about some very important, very important things you need to do for your house, like paying the bills or mowing the lawn or filling up your tax form. All these items, all of them can cause practical problems because now if you make a mistake, unfortunately, there will be consequences. So I just gave you some samples for social problems, you know, isolation, loneliness, maybe discrimination, followed up by depression, and also some practical problems are like you need to access some government services or public services. You cannot, you don't know how they are run. Everything is in their language. Or things like finding a job is difficult, very difficult. And a simple navigating your daily lifestyle or daily life is a challenge. Taking out the garbage, not knowing when to take out the garbage, not knowing who is going to look after the lawn or water the plants in front of the house. All these elements will be challenging and examples for you to mention in your essay. Okay, now we are pretty much ready to continue. The second line says, to what extent do you agree or disagree with this statement? So here we need to say our opinion. We need to say whether we agree or disagree with this. It says, to what extent do you agree or disagree? I need to explain that, but first let us organize our essay, and then I will tell you what it actually means. So you know me, you absolutely know me. I am looking for, yay, an attention grabber first. So the attention grabber is going to grab your audience's attention, and it's going to say many immigrants experience a much higher level of stress 3 weeks or 1 month into their immigration because they cannot simply interact with the local people. Now, statistically, that's a high number. You can even say a rough number, like an immigrant 2 weeks after their immigration start to experience 3 times the normal level of stress than a normal human being would experience every day, and even higher. Now you might say, whoa, 3 times. You can even make it sound more dramatic, like 300%. Again, that sounds more dramatic. You can even increase the number. There are no numbers here. We have no access to any references, so it's completely understandable. But do not say something like 10 million% or so. Just say like 2 times, 3 times, and more. It might be 4.5 times, but it is still going to be more than 3%. And then you need the connecting info. In the connecting info, make sure you address the things I told you. Remember the 3 secrets I said? Like it is, you're in an English, not necessarily an English-speaking country, any country. And then you mentioned that you have to. You're going through a very hard time. It is forced upon you. You have to speak their language. You have to speak Spanish. You have to speak Italian. You have to speak Chinese. This is very important for you. And then make sure that you lay out the problem categories. You can say there will be social and practical issues. Or you can reward them. You can say you will experience problems in the society, as well as the things that you practically need to do every day. You can paraphrase that as well. Then it's time for you to say the most important sentence of your entire essay, and it's going to be whether you agree or disagree with this situation. So do you agree with that or not? I'm going to say I agree, and I really believe that you are going through some hardship. Absolutely. Now I need to explain something. I was approached by the IELTS Juice students earlier that there is a difference between these type of questions, when they say, to what extent do you agree or disagree with this statement, versus the ones that they just simply say, do you agree or disagree? The approach is generally similar, generally. But the way you answer it the focus and the method that you answer might be slightly different. When the question says, to what extent do you agree or disagree, you still need to say whether you agree or you disagree. But here, the extent is important. The adjective that you associate with your agreement is important. You say, I agree. If you say, I 100% agree, then the stress of this type of essay is not on whether you agree or not. The stress is on 100%. So you need to use vocabulary like completely, wholeheartedly, totally, entirely. Those are, or absolutely, those are the words that you are going to use for your agenda. Here you say, I agree. So you push it, you press on. The focus is on that degree. The degree is 100%. But if this question says, do you agree or disagree? You simply say, yes, I agree. And then you support your belief. It's the same structure, but the focus is now on your agreement, not the level of your agreement. It's on you as an individual who believes this is true. That's the difference. Now, the difference is basically very valuable when you want a higher score. For those who seek maybe below 7, this is still fine. It can be as a form of agree or disagree type of essay. So, in my opinion, I'm going to say that I agree. I'm going to state my opinion here. And as I just said, I can simply say that I 100% agree with this. And that's it. For the sake of simplicity, I'm going to say I 100% or wholeheartedly agree with this rubric, and I'm going to state it here. So I'm going to say preferably 2 paragraphs, and I'm going to say why. What are the reasons I believe this is a fact, this is correct? Each paragraph, my suggestion, should focus on one problem. This one should focus on the social problems because it is the first one, and this one must focus on the practical problems. And I want you to say problems, plural, more, please. So you're going to address 2 problems here, or and say the reason is because I believe that, because look at this, look at that. And let me follow it up even better. 2, 2. Don't focus on these problems. I am not putting problems here. I am saying reasons. Do not focus on the problems. Focus on why you agree that such problems can happen, and look at them as examples. And try to come up with at least 2 here and at least 2 here. In the conclusion, you need to paraphrase your thesis statement. Your thesis statement was your opinion, so you're going to state your opinion. You can list the reasons here. And I don't think you're going to need another sentence, because this is already a very chunky conclusion. But if you want as your final thought, you can give some suggestions, not some, maybe one, and very, very vague, very, very generic, please. Do not start new topics here. No new information. The conclusion as a paragraph must not contain any new information. It's the conclusion of these paragraphs. So you basically make your suggestions and that's it. You have your layout over here. Now you want to play it a little harder. In that case, for those who wish to get a chance to increase their score, I'm going to introduce a third body paragraph. Now, this is challenging, and you can insert this paragraph either over here or over here. And so I'm just going to tell you that there are other methods. I just, for the sake of this video, I'm going to focus on one, and that is, you do not agree with this topic 100%, you agree 80%, let's just say. So you only agree 80%. What happens now? You focus on two body paragraphs. You need another paragraph that talks about the opposite view. That needs a topic sentence, and you need to say the opposite view, or you need to say the other opinion, something that is different from yours, that you kind of need to justify the 20%. So this is going to do the 80% agreement, but this one is just going to focus on the 20%. Make sure you have this, and make sure this is not just stated. It is in connection with the other elements, and you also need to say that. And use grammar, like, although we have these items, we have these qualities that may count for it, may be counted towards this. We have this many reasons to say that, generally speaking, I tend to agree more that these problems will happen. This is not easy. This is not easy. But if you can pull it off, you will secure a much higher score at IELTS. I hope this helped. If you wish to see a sample on this, click over here. If you wish to see other videos like this with a little green apple over here, you know where to click. And remember, I'm not kidding. Eat healthy.